You're now kicking it with Brother Smalls, and I'm in one of my favorite places to be in my house. Behind me is the fireplace. You know, it's about 65 degrees, so my wife was like, "You're not putting the fireplace on," but that's like my go-to. I kind of like, put the fireplace on. I like to kind of just relax a little bit, and that's how I kind of unwind. We have the pleasure here, and for your audience, we have the pleasure of having Liza Tuck. Liza Tuck is a licensed massage therapist and health educator who creates and designs wellness curriculums for young adults. She's the owner of Back to Health Massage and specializes in all deep tissue, acupressure, Swedish trigger point therapy, myofascial release, skin rolling, stretch therapy with massage, tissue stretch, and aromatherapy. That's one of the things that I'm missing, and you guys are going to miss in this interview, is that every time you do a class or a session with Liza, it smells delightful. You can't get it now. Maybe I'll put a candle up or something like that to get the effect. But you just got to take a class. You got to reach out to her, go to her office at some point, and it's just an amazing experience. So I want to introduce again to the Kicking It with Brother Smalls audience, the muscle whisperer, Miss Liza Tuck. How you doing?
Good. How are you, Omar?
I'm doing great. Now, this is my first question that I have to ask everybody that I interview. How you doing? How's everything going with this, with this environment right now?
I have to say that it has been very grounding because it has provided some time to reflect, connect with my family more. You would think that you have these strong connections and strong bonds within your family, but then once you have an experience like this, you realize where the gaps were, and it just brings you closer.
Wonderful. I'm hearing that, and that's really a highlight, and to what's going on is that people are getting grounded. People are coming together more. They're working together, and families are being melded. So that's definitely a great product of what's going on. How's it impacted your business?
Well, currently, no one's receiving touch. No one's receiving a therapeutic touch. But I haven't lost the connection because I believe human connection, depending how you communicate and how you interact with your client, is the first thing before you even touch the client.
Sure.
So I do my best to try to make that connection. I don't force the connection. If the connection is there, then it becomes a beautiful exchange of energy. Mm-hmm. And it also provides a better therapeutic session on the table.
No, from taking your classes, there's a great deal of trust. Tell us about that establishing trust with your clients and how you do that.
I meet each client where they're at. So I do my best. I connect with them as a human first, not as a client. To me, they're a person first. So I try my best to connect with them and trying to see what is it that they need, because everybody needs something. Right. So depending on what their needs are, I do my best to try to meet their needs. Without them actually realizing it, I can kind of feel the energy and I can kind of sense exactly what's going on, and I do my best to try to customize that for them.
No, again, after taking, many of your classes, one of the things that it just seems like, you individualize, your communication to each person. And so, there was, and because everyone was on a different level, right? And everyone has a different, comes to you for services at a different level, and you definitely do that. Now, I kind of rattled off all the various massages that you do, and it's a wide range of them. But what's the difference? I mean, I, what's the difference?
So all these are what you call modalities. So these are different types of modalities that can treat the body. You do not have to use all the modalities. For somebody who needs to, so there's deep tissue. Let's do an example for deep tissue versus Swedish. Swedish is your traditional massage. You know, you do your regular flow, open effleurage. Deep tissue just goes past the superficial layer of the skin where you're actually going deeper into the muscle belly and want to make sure that you release some of the tension that's been stored there.
I need a battery. I need a battery for the computer. So okay, when you when a client calls you, um, is it like, okay, hey, I want a Swedish massage, and do you kind of do you give them just what they ask for, or is there an assessment prior to a treatment?
Great question, Omar. I do an assessment. Sometimes I'll do a phone assessment because some of them have some underlying conditions. Some of them are taking medications. I do have to be clear with the client to self-disclose if they're on high blood pressure medication, if they're diabetic, do they have arthritis? Is there any previous surgeries that they've had? So these are really important questions because I have to be mindful in the type of massage that I'm doing with them.
Right.
So a lot of times for a person that's regular, healthy, and just wants relaxation, I never really, they'll say to me, oh, I need a deep tissue. And what I'll say to them is like, once I get you on the table and I do my assessment of the tissue, I'll be able to understand how to deliver the massage according to what the tissue is speaking to me, according to what the tissue is revealing to me. Because the tissue that's working in the upper part where the shoulders are would not be the same where the legs are. So I wouldn't necessarily do the same strokes in the upper body as if I would do with the lower body.
No, and I mean, you explain things. It's like you kind of break things down in such a way that helps people. And so, someone coming that has a idea of, hey, I want this. Somebody told me that this massage is great, and you being able to kind of break that down to them, the reason why we may need to kind of hold up. Let's see what the muscle, right, the tissue is saying first before
Right.
yeah.
Right.
That's very
So muscles have memory in them, okay? They have their own set of memories. And I'll give you an example. When you ride a bike, I haven't ridden a bike in like 10 years, literally. I know that I don't need, if someone say, hey, do you want to go bike riding with me? And my girlfriend down the street said to me, it's a beautiful day today, let's go bike riding. I'll go, sure.
Yep.
I wouldn't have to say to her, wait, I need to learn how to ride a bike again.
Right.
That's already downloaded in the memory of the tissue.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. We muscles have memory in them and they have information. If the therapist has great palpation skills, meaning how he or she touches the tissue and assesses the tissue, they will be able to help release the tissue.
Wow. Wow. It seems, I mean, you kind of have like a sweet, it's like a sweet spot as far as massage therapy and what you're currently doing. How long have you been in this industry, and how did it all materialize? Do you always know that you had a gift for touching people?
Yeah, I think the power of touch, I think touch is very important. I always tell people all of this all the time, and they laugh, but then when they think about it, they go, oh wow, we can't live without food, we can't live without water, and we can't live without touch. We're social beings. So this social distancing does impact the psychological aspect. And of course, it attacks the physical aspect too. Friendly touch, a hug, things like that are important to humans. So when you are not able to do therapeutic touch, I always say, touch helps a person find balance in their life. It brings the body back to its homeostasis environment, which is a balanced environment. Receiving good touch, and it's therapeutic, and it's nourishing, it's healing, it's comforting. All of these things are important for the body to thrive and to be healthy and to boost the immune system, and also the psychological aspects of it. People always leave those out, and the power of touch can never, technology, I don't care how far we go with technology, the power of touch will never go out of style. People will always need it, and computers cannot take over.
I totally agree with you. And you know what? And people are really understanding the power of touch, and recognizing the power of touch, especially in this current environment where you can't greet someone, or you're supposed to refrain from greeting someone how you would normally greet someone.
Right.
And no, you're right, and I think it also has physical impacts as well. I mean, if a touch, a hug, it's I mean, everyone can kind of recognize where a hug did something for them.
Right.
Somebody kind of consoled them, or touched them, or held their hand, and
Right.
and that's very, very powerful. You wrote an excerpt in Nutmeg magazine on the power of touch, and you said, while regular therapeutic touch creates a meaningful bond, it also allows space for the client to feel a deeper connection with themselves. Massage therapists can be the vehicle in creating the initial healing grounds for the client. We must ask ourselves where the scars of emotional, psychological, and spiritual abuse show up. I thought that was profound. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
So everybody has a story, Omar, right? So it's not our job as massage therapists to counsel. Okay, we read tissue, we assess tissue, and we do our, work as far as releasing the tissue. This is what happens depending on the person's life, depending on the experiences that individual has had in their life, whether it be a mixture of great and some tragedies. The information gets stored in the tissue. So a person who's constantly stressed or constantly has anxiety, most likely they would store here in the pecs, in this chest area here, becomes very tight and concentric. The therapist goes in and releases the tissue. Just feeling the tightness of the tissue, the therapist can tell that there's a lot on this person's mind. There's stuff going on. Again, it's not our place to counsel, but it is our place to help that person release all of this stuff that they don't need. And as givers, because that's what massage therapists are, we're givers, right? I always say there's two types of people in the world. Some people will disagree with this. Some people will agree, and that's fine. There's givers and takers. I find myself in the category of giving. So I love to give. Ray Bradbury said it best. Do what you love what you do, right? And then you're not really working, right? So I love what I do.
Right.
So when we are giving, we're connecting with the tissue. We're releasing all of that stuff that they've been holding on to. So when they get up off the table, they don't realize exactly what happened. They know they feel different, but they're not quite sure exactly what's going on. But as the therapist, we know what's going on. We understand what's going on. And it's important that we help people move forward. And just that touch alone creates the space for that person to move on and start the healing process.
Right. I mean, so you said the healing ground, but so when a person kind of, and it's happened to me before, every time you feel much better, right? But the thing is that, what do you say? I mean, because, sometimes, like you said, people don't know what happened. They know they feel better.
Right.
And so how do you encourage them to take the next step? I mean, again, because you're not, counseling them, but yeah. How do you do that?
So I do ask them questions. How are you sleeping? How are you eating?
Yeah.
Are you exercising? If you're at a desk all day, are you sitting straight up? Are you taking time and take breaks away from the computer? So this way, the posture of the body stays supple and healthy because the spine is our lifeline. So I encourage clients to be upright. I encourage them to do a lot of self-care. I am notorious about self-care. So I say, these are the self-care tips that I want you to do. So all my clients get homework.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that to them, they'll do it. Most clients will want to do their homework. And then when they come back for the next session, they usually reveal, oh, I did this and I did this, but I didn't do this. And that's fine,
Yeah.
But I hold them, the beauty about the massage and the exchange of client therapist, I hold the client accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell them, this is what you need to do. And I allow them to grow in their space. And a lot of times clients that have been with me 5 years, they have changed significantly in their life. They have shifted. They have done more self-care. And it was all because they decided to get on the table for the first time. Clients, but it was my first time getting a massage and they're still with me 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen their life change. I've seen their life shift. I've seen them, their whole, there's a growth there. And it had nothing to do with me counseling. It had me to do by providing the space for them and they figure it out.
Yes.
Right.
Wow. Well, I want more people to figure it out. And so I want you to tell people how they can reach out to you, how they can, find you, give them everything that they need to kind of do that.
So I'm currently revamping my website. So I have the time now. So I'm making the time to do that. But I can be reached at my email, which is setmefree2@aol.com. The 2 is spelled TOO. Or I have clients now that are talking about setting up appointments for the summer tentatively, so they know that I have a schedule that I'm keeping track of in case, we do return back to normal, which I know I'm prayerful that we will. And this provides the client some hope and some inspiration. But what I would like to say is for now, what I've been doing with clients is teaching them how to massage themselves. So I have them do little tiny circles around the pecs like this in the morning to loosen up the chest area. With Zoom, you can just kind of do that. You can feel this particular here. You just press here, Omar, right in the pecs and do some tiny little circles like this. You'll feel some release. Especially it's great to do in the shower, okay? I have clients doing this too, where you kind of do a sweep, the back of the neck, come and just sweep forward just to release some of the tension there. You're also moving lymph, which is releasing toxins because we have lymph nodes there. And then the hands, we do these. There's a lot of acupressure points. Like I said to you before, I do a lot of acupressure. So if you do a lot of points like this is wonderful to massage the hands and release some of the tension here. And when you're watching TV, sit in an Indian pose and work the bottom of the feet. All this, little tiny tidbits, helps release tension in the body.
Wow. You know what? That felt great. This thing here felt great. Wow. It's like you're raking, right? You just kind of rake.
You're kind of stripping. You're stripping the tissue and you're coming down. You're stripping here. Ooh. This is amazing for the neck. Okay. Wow. You work the flexors here. You can do all of this here. This is great. You can flex and extend the hand. These are great to do. And these are just little tidbits here and there that you can do just to help a little bit of the blood to flow, the lymph to move, and psychologically to feel better.
Wow. Hey guys, please do this. It feels great. It feels great.
If you're married and you have a husband or wife, have your partner do it.
I know. I have to trade notes. Hey, but no, thank you so much for spending some time with us. We really appreciate it. now more than ever, people need to know how to kind of de-stress. And so I thought it was very, very important. Thank you so much for being on the show with us. And I hope I have one more question for you.
Sure.
I hope you'll come back. Will you come back?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
Omar,
Okay.
always great seeing you. I'm always grateful.
Oh, wow. Wow. Same here. Same here. Tell my guy I said what's up. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, be safe, Omar.
All right. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Informs, uplifts, and elevates, and inspires, takes you higher. Say it again.